"You don't deserve that ring. You never worked for it," my aunt said, pulling it from my hand at the funeral. I said nothing. A month later, the appraiser called her. "This is a replica." The air in the reception hall was thick and cloying, smelling of lilies and baked ham. It was the smell of performative grief, a scent I was quickly learning to despise. People moved in slow, murmuring clusters, their dark clothes absorbing the weak afternoon light that filtered through the tall, church-like windows. I stood alone by a table laden with food no one was touching, my hand wrapped around a glass of ice water that was doing nothing to cool the frozen block in my chest. My mother was gone. The thought was still abstract, a sentence I could say but not comprehend. It had only been 3 days since she'd passed, a week since she'd pressed her ring into my palm, her own fingers skeletal and cool. "For you, my love," she had whispered, her voice a dry rustle of leaves. "Don't ever let anyone make you feel you don't deserve it." And now, here was Aunt Carol, making a beeline for me through the sad, polite crowd. She was my father's sister, a woman sculpted from sharp angles and expensive fabrics. My mother had always called her the Vulture, but only in private, with a wry, tired smile. Today, Carol was playing the part of the bereaved sister-in-law to perfection, her face a carefully constructed mask of sorrow. Her eyes, however, were sharp and bright, scanning, calculating. They weren't looking at my face. They were fixed on my left hand, where my mother's ring sat. It was a deep cornflower blue sapphire, an heirloom from my great-grandmother, surrounded by a halo of small, brilliant diamonds. It felt heavy on my finger, a weight of love and legacy. "Clara, darling," she said, her voice a low, sympathetic purr that made the hairs on my arms stand up. She took my free hand, her own fingers surprisingly strong, her nails immaculate. "How are you holding up? It's just so devastating. Your mother was such a presence." The pause was infinitesimal, but I heard it. It was the space where she'd bitten back a dozen other words. Difficult, stubborn, proud. "I'm getting through," I managed, the words feeling like sand in my mouth. I wanted to be left alone. I wanted to be at home, in my mother's quiet house, surrounded by her things, by the ghost of her. I did not want to be here, making small talk with a woman my mother had tolerated with the weary grace of a monarch dealing with a troublesome courtier. Carol's eyes flicked down to my hand again, the one holding the glass. "That was your mother's, wasn't it?" she asked, her voice losing a fraction of its syrupy sweetness. She gestured with her chin toward the ring. "The family sapphire. It's magnificent." "Yes," I said simply. "She gave it to me." A strange expression tightened the corners of her mouth. It was a flicker of something raw and ugly, gone as quickly as it appeared, replaced by a look of pained understanding. "Oh, Clara." Of course she did. In her final days, people aren't always thinking clearly. Grief, the medication, it can make them do things, promise things that aren't quite right. I stared at her, the ice in my chest beginning to fracture. "She was perfectly clear, Carol. She wanted me to have it." "Of course she did, sweetie," Carol cooed, patting my hand, but her grip was tightening. "It's just that, a piece like that, it's not just a ring, it's a legacy. It belongs to the Vance family, to the women who have earned their place in it." She finally looked me in the eye, and the pretense of sympathy was gone, replaced by a cold, hard certainty. "You don't deserve that ring," she said, her voice dropping to a harsh whisper. "You never worked for it. You haven't built a family, a home." Full story on channel link below.